I'm curious to know on that mindset, something I've been drilling down these past few months because I've had personal battles with this issue. What do you think of this whole counting calorie business?
Oh, I think it's a slippery slope. I think there is a place for it. I really do believe if you're training for something like yourself for a marathon, if you um, have trouble understanding what is in your food and how, like the energy that it can give you, I think that there is definitely a place for it. I think that it's educational. It's important to understand. I mean, nowadays it's everywhere. You go into, I haven't been into like a big McDonald's, but it has, the calories of everything. It's really kind of prominent. And it's really good to be educated and to understand, but it's not when it rules your world and it rules your plate. I'm a big believer in, being educated, understanding what's going into your body, understanding what's a protein source, what's a carb source, what's a fat source, knowing that a fat is always going to be higher in calories, and that's really important. And it's not taught well in schools. It's not taught in a way that is healthy to then take into society. But especially for me, following a vegan diet, there was a point that I tracked what I ate, but I didn't track it through wanting to count calories and cut down as much as possible. I tracked it through wanting to understand the nutrients and the macro breakdown and kind of being like, I want to make sure I'm getting my iron, that I'm getting protein, that I'm getting rich sources of fats and omega-3s and omega-6s. And, I really believe that counting calories are a number, but instead of thinking of calories, think of energy. Think of that energy being potential. If you eat something that's high in calories, you're eating something that's going to potentially fuel you for an amazing adventure. As a runner, I burn a lot of calories and I need to fuel that. But I always see it as like I'm fueling for that next run, for that regrowing, for that repairing, for that strengthening. And when you look at food that way and you look at it as it's nourishing, it's thriving me, it's going to sustain me forward, then it gives a whole new meaning to eating fats in your diet, because I can't deal with this low fat, low carb. I don't know what people eat these days, but it just seems like everyone just wants to eat less. And it's just, like that's only going to lower your potential. So it's just not, there's a point that it's healthy. And then there's a very slippery slope, and understanding that if you find yourself starting to slip, that you put your hand out like that crab and you try and get out of that bucket.